Ever wondered how the timeless tale of the Lord of the Rings has held up over the years? Let's dive into its evolution from page to screen and explore the aspects that have aged like fine wine and those that haven't quite stood the test of time. J.R.R. I R R. Tolkien's masterpieces laid the groundwork for modern fantasy, captivating readers with adult fairy tales. Yet some elements may not resonate as strongly with today's audience, reflecting societal changes since the 1950s. Despite being a beloved franchise, the Lord of the Rings movies reveal outdated aspects. Think of it like finding a vintage outfit in your closet. While charming, it might not fit the current fashion trends. The film's problematic and offensive elements, overlooked during production, are now under scrutiny. Gimli's ignorance about his cousin's fate in Moria puzzles fans. And in a world where news travels faster than the fastest horse, how could he remain unaware of such a tragic event? This plot hole raises questions about Middle-earth's communication methods. Adapting Tolkien's vast universe proved challenging for Peter Jackson. Omitting details to fit the story into a trilogy led to uneven pacing, especially in the Hobbit saga. Spectacular scenes couldn't save the films from criticism, highlighting the struggle to balance source material and cinematic vision. Jackson's reliance on CGI increased as the trilogy progressed, and affecting the film's realism. Practical effects in The Fellowship of the Ring grounded viewers in Middle-earth, but CGI-heavy scenes in later movies like The Army of the Dead drew mixed reactions. The Lord of the Rings follows the classic good versus evil trope with clear-cut heroes and villains. This simplicity contrasts with modern storytelling, which often explores moral gray areas. However, Boromir's complex character adds depth, showcasing the influence of the One Ring. Not every character received the spotlight they deserved. Merry and Pippin, often portrayed as comic relief, lacked development compared to Sam, Gollum, and Gandalf. Gimli's role as a one-dimensional jester fell short of his literary counterpart's complexity. The Return of the King ends multiple times, leaving viewers unsure when the credits will roll. This drawn-out finale contrasts with today's preference for concise conclusions, highlighting the difference in storytelling techniques. Major characters like Tom Bombadil and Glorfindel were cut from the films, a decision that seemed reasonable given the trilogy's length. However, the trend towards extended runtime in streaming adaptations makes these omissions stand out more prominently. Saruman's death, shown only in the extended cut of The Return of the King, baffles those who stick to the theatrical version, and this exclusion disrupts the narrative flow and leaves viewers in the dark about his fate. The Hobbit trilogy condensed the timeline complicating the original trilogy's foundation. Introducing new plot lines and revealing Sauron's identity earlier raises questions about the wisdom of key characters in the original trilogy. Amazon's The Rings of Power hints at more Lord of the Rings projects, sparking debate. While remakes and revivals are common, capturing the magic of the original trilogy will be a daunting task. Can a reboot truly live up to the legacy? Jake Gyllenhaal was reportedly considered for the role of Frodo Baggins, while Elijah Wood's portrayal had its moments. Inconsistencies in acting left some scenes feeling forced. A different actor could have brought a fresh interpretation to the iconic character. Weta FX's CGI in The Lord of the Rings won Oscars, but some scenes now look dated. Frodo's dream sequence in The Fellowship of the Ring stands out, with Elrond's ghostly appearance giving off a music video vibe. This scene feels out of place, breaking the immersion. And characters from the Silmarillion make cameo appearances in The Lord of the Rings, delighting diehard fans but confusing newcomers. These brief encounters add depth for those familiar with Tolkien's lore, but may detract from the main narrative for others. Boromir's permanent departure marks the only Fellowship member to die in the trilogy. This contrast with contemporary storytelling, where death adds realism. Some readers may find the lack of casualties in the main cast outdated compared to modern literature. Merry and Pippin's passive roles in The Two Towers highlight the importance of agency in modern storytelling. Their liberation by the Rohirrim and witnessing the Ents disruption without contributing much led to adjustments in the film adaptation, giving them more active roles. Frodo's departure from the Shire occurs over 40 minutes into The Fellowship of the Ring, a pace that might feel slow for today's audience. This deliberate setup contrasts with the instant gratification sought in contemporary fiction. Amazon's The Rings of Power faced backlash for its diverse cast, highlighting the need for representation in media, that the original trilogy's lack of BIPOC actors diminishes its impact, emphasizing the importance of inclusivity in storytelling. Frodo's reunion with the Fellowship in The Return of the King falls flat with an awkward slow motion sequence. The lack of dialogue and prolonged silence make for an odd viewing experience, detracting from the emotional weight of the scene. Orcs in The Lord of the Rings are portrayed as universally evil, a cliche that simplifies morality. This stereotyping of an entire race overlooks complexity and nuance, perpetuating outdated tropes in fantasy storytelling. Female characters in the trilogy interact minimally, often defined through their relationships with men. While Elend's bravery is celebrated, the lack of independent female narratives falls short of modern storytelling standards. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.